Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be going over Excel Module 1. The first thing I've done is I have opened Excel for you. And remember, you'll have to go to your portable storage device, go to your data files, and now we're working in Excel rather than Word. I've opened up Excel 1.1, which you'll be opening up in your homework as well. The main thing that I want to point out is we now have, again, you're looking at the Excel platform. It's very similar to Word, okay, in the fact that you still have the tabs on top, you still have the ribbon, you still have the groupings, okay? There's different things in them, but it's still set up the way. So everything is fairly similar to that aspect. Where it changes is you have two different areas. One is right here, okay? That's your formula bar row, okay? You can type in the formula bar row, you can put formulas in the row. It makes no sense, but generally people type down in the actual worksheet, and that's where we get to right here. This area right here is the worksheet, all right? In Excel, if you remember when we were in Word, we were actually in a document. Now with Excel, we're in a workbook. The workbook consists of worksheets. And you'll notice, looking down here, we're in worksheet number 1. And I can add new worksheets by clicking on the plus sign right here. The worksheet is a series of cells. And again, you can kind of look at it as, remember when you inserted the table in Word? Each individual little box was a cell. Same goes for here. But it's set up for you a little bit differently since the entire thing is cells. You'll notice on the top, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, so on and so forth. Those are the columns. Columns are labeled by the letter. And then you'll notice here, we have numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Those are the rows. So for example, if I was going to click right here, you'll notice I'm in cell A1. If I click over here, I am in I7. A16. Now I can move my mouse around to go into different cells. I can also use the arrows on my keyboard. All right. Or if I just want to go to the very next one, I can use my tab key. So I am able to go around the worksheet going into different cells. When you get to page, so basically, and again, what I'm going through is Excel page 4. It just gets you around the workbook in general. On page Excel 6, it's going over formulas. You're not going to do a lot of formulas in this class. The main thing that you're going to do in this class is you're going to use the auto sum, which is basically taking a row of numbers, putting a space where to put your answer, and then you go up here to auto sum and click on it, and you'll notice it gives me the answer. That's called auto sum, and there'll be more on this a little bit later. Again, if I click on here, go down to here. Again, you always have to have a place where you're going to put the answer and go up here and click auto sum. Now I can also say for this gross pay, hourly rate, regular pay, overtime pay, I can take columns E and F and put the answer in G, auto sum. Or I can make it really easy and I can highlight all of them along with a place to put the answer and click on auto sum, and it fills all of them in. So that's a quicker way. So you don't have to do it for each individual row or each individual cell. But that's the only formula I'm going to worry about in this class. When you get to the assignment, it'll have you do something. If you don't get it, it's no big deal. Because again, the only thing I'm worrying about is the auto sum in this class. On page Excel 8, it talks about entering labels and values and again, the auto sum. So again, since I've already shown you the auto sum, I'm not going to go over that again. But I can also, again, as I told you, as you're in particular cells, I can type. So this is going to be my total column. So again, now I can take all these, highlight them all, auto sum. Now all the totals are in there. Now another thing that I want to stress out is there may be a time when you're going to do an auto sum and you get these numbers here. I'm going to go over resizing cells. If you need to resize a cell, you'll notice when you get the pound, that means there was not enough room in the cell. To make the cell big enough, again, all I have to do is go up to between G and H, and again, you get the line with the two arrows, and double click. Okay, so again, line with the two arrows between the two columns and double click and it will fit. Now, another thing you want to make sure that you always do, okay, is when you have, again, if we have something like this where we can't see everything, again, you're going to have to go up to between A and B, double click, and it will make everything large enough for you to do it. Okay, so again, you always want to make sure that you make your cell so that you can see everything that you have typed in. Okay, on Excel page 10, it talks about editing cells. Say there was a time that we looked at it and we spelled Gustav Klimt's name wrong. Okay, so if I go into that cell, you'll notice two things. I click in it, look up here. I also see it up here too. I can go into either one of them and I can highlight it here, and maybe the name really is Johnson. I can type in Johnson and look, it changed here. Or I can do the exact other, I can go here and highlight it and type the name. And again, you'll notice up here it changed as well. So again, you can type in each individual cell. You can type up here or you can type down here to make the changes. Either one is fine. Find the way that you like it and proceed with that one. Now, the formula on page 12, Excel 12, go ahead and attempt it, but I'm not going to really worry about it. Again, you're not going to have to do it on the assignment, and I'm not going to have you do it on the test. The only one that you're going to have to worry about is auto sum. So if we go to page Excel 14, it just shows you about changing views. This again is your normal view, page layout, and if I go down here, I can click on the normal or the page layout. And it just changes it to the page layout. Generally, I hardly ever have used this. For the most part, you're always going to want to be in your normal view, which again, down here on the very bottom is your normal view. And again, remember, you have the zoom in and zoom out as well if you wanted to make it bigger or something. The last thing, and you're not going to have to do it in our class ever, is printing. So for printing Excel, you would go File, and then Print. And you'll notice it gives you a print preview. Generally, when you're working with tables, the best thing to do is switch it from Portrait to Landscape, so it gets it in there a little bit better. And then make sure you have your printer, and then say Print. But the more important thing about this is now, when I go back to my worksheet, you'll see these little dotted lines now. They weren't there before I hit the print preview. So if you're ever in a situation where when you're working on a worksheet and you want to make sure it fits on the same page, that's what you can do. You can just go up to File, Print, and then Back, and it will put in the dashes. Here's one side of the paper. And you'll notice here's the bottom side of that paper. So those dashed, everything in this dashed line from here to here is one page. So that is everything basically in Excel Module 1. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. When you're doing your assignment, you can skip step 6. It shows on the assignment too to skip step 6. Again, you don't have to do the simple formula. So that's everything in Excel Module 1. And again, make sure you go to your assignments and get your assignment turned in. Thank you.